Mom? Where are you? Didn't you have the day off work today? You weren't here when I got back home from school, and it's already getting pretty late. I'm starting to get worried.
Oh gosh, Michelle. Are you back home from school already? Where did the time go? I'm glad you made it back home safely, sweetheart.
Did you have a sudden shift change at work or something? Did your boss call you in? I made a light dinner for us, so you don't have to worry about that. It's here waiting for you when you get back home. What time do you think you'll be back in, by the way?
You're such a good girl, Michelle. My gosh, you really grew up to be such a fine young woman. I'm sure you'll be able to take care of yourself just fine, even if I'm not here with you.
Mom? That's a weird thing to say. What are you talking about?
I'm so sorry, baby. I don't mean to spring this on you all of a sudden, but from now on, Mommy's going off to live with her soulmate.
With your what? And what exactly do you mean by from now on?
You're a big girl now, sweetie. You can take care of yourself just fine. If you really think about it, there's no real need for us to keep living together. I mean, I did ask him several times if you could come with us, but he said that he just doesn't do kids. So, unfortunately, I can't bring you with me. So, Michelle, sweetie, would you be okay with just living on your own from now on?
What? Mom, you can't be serious.
That's my sweetie. You're such a responsible girl. You can definitely handle it. You're already a senior in high school. Not to mention you know how to cook, you're good at doing chores, and you can take care of a house just fine on your own. Besides, you weren't even planning to go to college after you graduate anyway. Weren't you planning on joining the workforce anyway? Once you started working, you were gonna have to start living on your own sooner or later. Just think of it as me giving you a push to leave the nest a little bit early. You'll be just fine.
There is nothing fine about any of this. And it's not like I don't want to go to college. The only reason I said that I'm going to go to work after I graduate high school is because you said we don't have any money, Mom. How am I supposed to go to college if we can't even afford it? Even though I'm still just in high school, you're leaving me behind to go live with your boyfriend? Do you even understand how ridiculous and irresponsible that sounds?
Oh, don't be like that, sweetie.
Just where are you and your boyfriend even at right now? I'm coming to get you right now. So tell me the address. If you really want to live together that badly, then fine. But at least wait until I graduate from high school.
But sweetie, Mommy can't wait that long. I told you, baby, he's my soulmate. So I'm afraid I can't tell you where we're staying. Sorry, sweetheart.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, and one more thing. I'm taking all of your dad's savings with me. I need them to start my new life with my boo.
You can't be serious. There's no way you'd be reckless enough to take out all of his savings. Oh my God. It's true. You seriously cleared out his entire savings account. I just checked the joint account app and everything's gone. You didn't leave a single penny.
Don't worry, sweetie. I'll be sure to spend every last dime with care. I'll think of you every time I make a purchase.
You're absolutely insane! Mom, do you even realize what you're doing right now? Leaving your own daughter and running away with dad's savings to live with some random boyfriend that you won't even introduce me to? What kind of mother does something like that?
Oh, but sweetie, I might be your mother, but I'm still a woman. I deserve to have a sweet, heart-throbbing romance, just like anyone else. It's not my fault your father suddenly got sick and died. How could I have possibly seen that coming? I've been making ends meet with his tiny savings and life insurance money. But you know just as well as I do that that's hardly enough to support a family. I've spent long enough working hard as a mother and a housewife while your father was alive. And I'm tired now, Michelle. I've done more than enough. It should be fine for me to spend the rest of my days as just another woman, living her best life.
I've never once complained about you having a love life. I didn't complain when you told me that you couldn't come to any of my school functions because you were on a date with one of your boyfriends. I didn't even complain when you told me you couldn't come to my birthday party because you were on a vacation with your boyfriend. I've never once blamed you or criticized you or anything like that, but this takes the cake. Are you crazy?
Well, sweetie, why don't you just turn a blind eye again one more time for mommy, won't you? You're such a good girl, so you can do that for me, can't you?
I literally cannot believe this.
You're already a senior in high school now, honey. You're legally old enough to work. You can just go find a job at some cafe and be a barista, or be a waitress, or something like that. That should be more than enough for you to make enough money to take care of yourself. It's not like you need to live in luxury. Well, I'm already late for meeting my man, so I'm off now. Let's both just be happy and live our best lives to the fullest, okay? Hey, Michelle, sweetie. I want to talk to you really quickly about your wedding. I can't believe it's already around the corner. I just want you to know that you can choose whatever dress style you like. Whether it's a traditional white dress or a more modern and colorful dress. Do whatever you like. You don't have to worry about what happened at the dinner the other day.
Are you sure, Allison? George was pretty vocal about his feeling toward weddings. He doesn't think people should stray from tradition, and that anything other than a white dress would be absurd. He went on and on about it at dinner the other day.
Don't mind him, sweetie. That was just drunken banter. I can't believe George had the nerve to give his 2 cents about the wedding. I'm so sorry for George's rudeness. I promise you he would want the two of you to do whatever makes you happy.
No, not at all. He just wanted to share his suggestions with us. I appreciate his input. Besides, he loved the way you looked in your wedding dress when you and him got married. He just wants his son to have that same experience. He kept saying stuff like that all night.
Drunken idiot. I'm sorry again if he said anything that might have embarrassed you. He dotes on Turk so much, and now he's doting on you too. That's just his way of showing affection. He has no filter whatsoever. He is comfortable saying pretty much whatever is on his mind, even when he's in public.
But it must be so nice to have someone who can boast about you so openly. I can definitely tell that he loves you deeply. Besides, Turk is always bragging about how close and in love you two are, even if it can get a bit embarrassing for him from time to time.
OMG, he really says that about us. That's so cute!
Your family is really great. Everyone gets along so well. I feel so happy just watching you all interact with each other.
I'm glad to hear that you feel that way. But don't forget, you're already a part of our family too. It feels lonely when you say you're just watching us like strangers. You are absolutely one of us now too.
You're so sweet, Allison. Thank you for saying that.
Sorry for getting off topic there, by the way. But my point is, just have your wedding however you and Turk want to. No matter what kind of ceremony you want to have, I'm 110% sure that the wedding will be beautiful. And George and I will support you and celebrate with you. We're just happy that you and Turk are happy. And we're excited for you to officially become part of the family, too.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I'm so lucky to be getting such an adorable daughter-in-law. I can't wait to go on all sorts of fun dates with you. Words can't describe how happy I am to have you in my family. Congratulations on your upcoming marriage, Michelle. And you even married into a wealthy family. Atta girl. I'd expect nothing less from my beautiful daughter. Looks like you caught yourself a good man.
Mom? How do you even have my number?
Oh my. What's with that boring reaction? Are you not happy to hear from me or something? It's been such a long time since we last spoke, so you should be more excited.
Don't try to long time no see me. That doesn't even apply to us. I haven't heard from you once over 10 years. Why are you contacting me all of a sudden? What do you want? And furthermore, how do you even know about my marriage?
Oh, wow. Has it already been 10 years? Goodness, how the time flies. Right in the blink of an eye. It feels like just last year that I eloped and left you behind. But it seems like you have grown into quite a fine woman. I always knew you'd turn out just fine.
You can't be seriously saying that to me. You're truly the worst.
More importantly, how did you manage to catch such a great guy? I might need to take some notes from you. I heard from an acquaintance that you were getting married, but I never imagined that your partner would be from such a wealthy family. That's literally every woman's dream. You're so lucky. Boy, am I jealous. You're a way better gold digger than I ever was.
Please don't phrase it like that. It sends the wrong message. Not to mention, it's disrespectful to him and his family.
But it's true though, isn't it? I looked into them and it seems like his family is really on another level. They own tons of land and have a long history in both business and residential real estate investment. On top of that, many of their relatives are business owners and C-suite executives. Sounds pretty amazing to me. They even gave you a luxury condo as a gift for your new home after marriage, right? And not just any old luxury condo, but a whole luxury tower in a prime location. It's crazy how loaded they are.
You're kidding, right? Why would you look into them like that? What gives you the right?
I'm just so envious of everything you have. I never thought you would grow up to have such a blessed married life. Mommy just can't help feeling jealous.
What's there for you to be jealous of? Aren't you supposedly living your best life or whatever? I heard a rumor that you married that guy you abandoned me for.
Oh gosh, you knew about that? Well, that makes things even simpler, so I'll go ahead and cut to the chase. The truth is, he and I actually broke up. I divorced him.
Wait, really? Are you okay?
He said he didn't like the idea of having a kid around, so I left you to be with him. And yet, after all that, he made all kinds of excuses and wouldn't marry me. So I dragged him down to the courthouse and made him get married by force. But then he kept cheating on me and telling me to just divorce him if I didn't like it.
He sounds horrible. Like literally bottom of the barrel trash. Did you really like him, Mom? What did you even see in that guy?
He was super hot, and his face was just my type. So I've been gritting my teeth and putting up with him all this time. But last year, he got into a pretty bad traffic accident and now he's stuck in a wheelchair. Totally paralyzed from the waist down. I couldn't stand taking care of him because it was too much work. So I divorced him and came here instead.
Oh my God. You might be even worse than he is.
What are you saying, Michelle? It's not like I'm a bad person. I just happen to be the most unlucky woman in the whole world. I mean, my first husband died early from a random incurable illness. Then the next man I fell in love with cheated on me nonstop, then got into a horrible accident and became wheelchair-bound.
I think maybe you're the source of everyone else's bad luck.
I just want to be happy, but happiness keeps running away from me.
Then please go ahead and find your happiness on your own. And leave me out of it. I've already found a place where I can be happy. And it doesn't include the mother who abandoned me.
Don't be so harsh, Michelle. I am happy, though, that you found a great man with such generous in-laws. It really sounds like he's the whole package, too. You've got such great taste. You're a real chip off the old block. You're so lucky to have found happiness in life before your sweet old mother. But given that, isn't there something you want to say to me?
Not really. What could I possibly have to say to you?
I wonder who is responsible for the happy, successful life you're living right now. None of this would even be possible if I hadn't given birth to you. Not to mention, you get all of your good looks from yours truly.
You just keep saying one crazy thing after another. What? Do you want me to tell you something, Mom?
So, from now on, I expect you to send me about $3,000 a month for my living expenses. Since you're marrying a rich guy, you should be able to handle it. Think of it as a way for you to express gratitude to me for bringing you into this world. I raised you for 18 years, so I think this price is more than fair.
Stop talking nonsense. Why should I have to send you anything just for giving birth to me? And how dare you say that my marriage is all thanks to you? That's rich coming from someone who abandoned me while I was still in high school. Not to mention, you withdrew every penny out of Dad's savings and left me to be with some guy who turned out to be trash because you're a poor judge of character. How dare you try to paw back into my life out of nowhere just to beg me for money? You have some nerve.
Don't be so mean, sweetie. Beg is such a strong word. I just wanted to be compensated for raising you so well. How else would you have been able to snag a rich guy like him if it weren't for you having your mama's good looks? If I didn't give birth to you, you wouldn't be alive, and you definitely wouldn't be this cute. You think you'd be out here living the good life if you had been some other schmuck's daughter? So it's only natural that you should show me some appreciation. You should be grateful.
Are you literally out of your mind?
Besides, your mother doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband now. I'm living all alone. When your father was alive, I was a housewife. And while I was married to my ex, the most work I ever did were occasional part-time gigs. How do you expect me to live? I can't survive on my own. Don't you want to help your mother when I'm in such a desperate and lonely situation?
Why should I care about any of that? You put yourself in the situation. And quite frankly, it doesn't concern me one bit.
How can you be so mean to me? Have a heart, Michelle. If you keep this up, I won't even bother attending your wedding. What do you say to that?
Okay, and? You're not even invited.
Your father is gone, and you're not on speaking terms with your mother, so neither of your parents will be at your wedding. Getting married without either of your parents is just so sad, don't you think? What will people say? That's why I contacted you. This is all for your sake. Because I love you and want to rekindle our relationship and make sure your wedding is a huge success.
I never intended on inviting you in the first place, so it doesn't really make a difference to me one way or the other.
You don't know how any of this works, do you? It might be okay for you, but your poor groom and his family will feel so ashamed and embarrassed. Rich people tend to be pretty picky about those sorts of things. Everyone in his circle is going to feel sorry for him and think he married you out of pity. Is that what you want?
Well, no.
That's what I thought. For just a measly $5,000, I'm more than happy to be a part of your wedding, so you can avoid all of that.
Are you kidding me? What kind of mother charges her own daughter just to attend her wedding? You're completely off your rocker.
Compared to embarrassing the groom's family in their rich people's circle, it's a pretty cheap price, wouldn't you say? So please, get the money ready for me. I'll be waiting. The fee for having mommy appear at your wedding is only $5,000. Isn't that just so cheap? I'm such a reasonable woman. Oh, and don't forget, you still need to send me $3,000 every month for my living expenses. What exactly do you want with my daughter? Why do you keep bothering her like this? Daughter. Excuse me? And who are you supposed to be? You have some nerve charging her $5,000 as a fee for appearing at her own wedding. You should be ashamed to even call yourself her mother. What gives you the right to even ask her something like that? You don't have to worry about her mother being at the wedding because guess what? Her mom will be there. I will be filling that role for her. So there shouldn't be any issues. And what exactly is that supposed to mean? Who do you think you are, claiming my daughter as your own? Just who the hell are you? I'm Michelle's mother-in-law. Or the mother of her fiancé. But to be honest, I already consider her my daughter. Wait, what? Michelle invited me to come and preview the wedding venue with her today. But even though we were here looking at her venue, she just couldn't keep her hands off of her phone. So naturally, I was curious as to why. When I asked her what was keeping her so distracted and preoccupied, imagine my surprise when she told me her mother, who she hasn't spoken to in over 10 years, just messaged her out of the blue, begging her for money. Oh my goodness! So you're the rich stepmom, huh? It's so lovely that our kids are getting married, isn't it? What a happy occasion! I guess some congratulations are definitely in order. Michelle takes after me, but I never thought she would marry into such a wealthy family. I hope that you and I can become close as mother-in-laws and friends. Looking forward to getting to know you better. No way. Over my dead body. I'd never be friends with someone like you. Why should I even have to entertain the idea of being friends with someone as uncouth and vulgar as you? Wow. That was pretty rude. And it baffles me that you would even suggest that Michelle takes after you. That girl is so sweet. She's just like me when I was her age. Sorry to burst your bubble, but she's nothing like you. You and her don't have a single thing in common. Who are you to say that to me? I don't care if you're rich. You can still catch these hands. How dare you call me vulgar and uncouth? You're not even Michelle's mother. So how could she possibly take after you? I'm the one who gave birth to her, not you. So back off. I guess you do have a point there. It's certainly true that you did give birth to her. But do you really think that pushing her out of your womb is enough to make you her real mother for the rest of her life? You missed so many important milestones for her and you hindered her growth as a child, so I don't think you get to keep that privilege of calling yourself her mom. I'd say that's pretty solid proof that you're uncouth with a shallow mind. I can already tell that if we were ever to meet in person, you'd be nothing more than a thorn in my side. Wow, lady! You are really something else! Don't you know that children grow up by looking at their parents' example? And just what kind of precedent did you set for Michelle? She hasn't learned anything good from you, besides what type of person to avoid becoming at all costs. She doesn't take after you one bit. She's your complete opposite. Wow. You know what? You're really starting to get on my nerves. It is what it is. I'm just stating the facts. Michelle started to look and act more and more like me every single day. My husband is always boasting about how much he loves my cheerful, beautiful smile. And wouldn't you know it? My son said he fell in love with Michelle because of her cheerful and beautiful smile. She and I are basically two peas in a pod. I mean, they do say the more time you spend around a person, the more you start to resemble each other. And clearly, our smiles and charms are practically one and the same. They were already a close couple, but lately they've become even closer, watching me and my husband. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're just spouting a bunch of nonsense. You're nothing more than her mother-in-law to be. So it's really annoying for you to be out here trying to claim my daughter. And stop trying to sell my own daughter to me. I know what her good points are. I raised her for 18 whole years. I know she's a cute and charming girl. I don't need you to tell me that. Well, why don't you look at things from my perspective? It's even more annoying that her former mother is trying to show her off. You selfishly abandoned her when she was just a child, and now you're saying crazy things like she needs to repay you for being her parent. That's not something a real adult would do. I never abandoned her. I just motivated her to leave the nest slightly earlier than she was already going to. A high school senior may seem like an adult, but they are still very much a child. So the fact that you just up and left her while she was still so young and impressionable is completely unthinkable. It's even worse that you call that forcing her to leave the nest early. Who forces their child to go faster than they need to? On purpose. Oh, and that reminds me. What was that you asked her for again? $5,000 to be in her wedding, and another $3,000 monthly to pay for your living expenses. I bet you were so excited for that big come-up, weren't you? Well, sorry to break it to you, But you're not even invited to the wedding. So don't even think about trying to get any money from her. We're not paying you a dime. Well, why not? I'm sure you could spare it. None of our relatives or anyone in our friend circle would ever belittle Michelle for her upbringing or her relationship with you. She's not the one to blame anyhow. There's really nothing for you to worry about whatsoever. Michelle is going to have a beautiful wedding, surrounded by people who love her and think the world of her. You and your negative energy aren't needed. So please be on your way. And don't even dream of trying to ruin her big day. We're planning to take good care of her. And we're going to love her enough to more than make up for everything you put her through.
Thank you for yesterday. And I'm sorry again about my mother.
You don't have to apologize, sweetheart. More importantly, did you make it home safely yesterday? You didn't get ambushed at home by your mom or anything, did you?
No worries. I'm fine for the time being.
What a relief. That's so good to hear. We really do think of you as our precious daughter. So if anything ever happens, please let us know right away.
I can't thank you enough. I feel so lucky and blessed to be marrying into such an amazing family, and to have you as my mother-in-law.
I'm also happy to have a daughter-in-law as lovely as you. Turk has such great taste. Next time, let's be sure to take a more leisurely tour of the wedding venue. We only want the best for you after all. Let me in this venue right now. I am your mother. You can't treat me like this. Why won't they let me in?
I can't believe you actually have the gall to show up. I was warned you might try to do something, but I never imagined you'd actually try to sneak into my wedding. You're such a psycho.
Excuse me, young lady. Who are you calling a psycho? Watch your mouth. You're acting like it isn't completely normal for a mother to show up at her own daughter's wedding. Hurry up and let me in the venue already. I gave birth to you, so I deserve to watch you walk down the aisle. If you're marrying into a wealthy family, best believe I'm coming with you. You can't get rid of me that easily.
You're not my mother anymore. You lost that privilege when you abandoned me.
What's with that haughty attitude of yours? Were you planning to just become a rich trophy wife and leave me in the dust? How could you even think of abandoning your own mother like this?
How can you say that when you're the one who abandoned me first?
Well, what does any of that matter now? Just get over it already and leave the past in the past. Okay, fine. I'll admit that I might have abandoned you. But so what? How can you turn around and abandon your mother like this? Two wrongs don't make a right. Do you think your father up in heaven would be happy to know that you're treating me this way? After everything I've done for you? Your poor old man is probably rolling in his grave right now.
Funny you mention that. He was the first one to ever tell me not to have any qualms about cutting you out of my life. That's what he said, word for word.
What? He would never have said anything like that.
After you ran away and eloped, I searched every nook and cranny for our house for any money we might have had left over. If you remember, you wiped out Dad's savings account before you left. I was desperately looking for money to hold myself over and buy some food for the next few days. That's when I found a letter from Dad addressed to me.
He wrote you a letter? I didn't know anything about that.
He wrote it while he was hospitalized, and when he was allowed to come home for a short visit before returning back for his next operation, he hid it so that you would never find it. It said, "When you feel like you're at your limit and can't take it anymore, don't hesitate to cut ties with your mother. My final wish is for my baby girl to live happily and freely. I don't want you to let anyone walk all over you."
He said that. If he were still here, I'd sure give him a piece of my mind.
Also, he also left his friend's contact information for me to reach out to in case of an emergency. Dad entrusted that friend to keep a hefty sum of money in a high-yield savings account for me to access whenever times got hard. I used that money, along with some scholarships I earned, to go to university debt-free.
Wait, you actually managed to go to college?
You snooped around and found out all you could about my marriage, but you didn't know that? Wow. Anyway, I studied pretty hard because I didn't want all of that money to go to waste. And by chance, I met Turk there, through an extracurricular activity. When he and I finally decided to get engaged, he was so excited to introduce me to his parents. To both of our surprise, though, his dad was actually my dad's same friend who had kept his money safe all those years. What a small world we live in. And of course, he was over the moon about me being the girl his son chose to spend the rest of his life with.
What? What in the world? When did your dad ever run in circles with rich people? Since when did he have this secret life that he apparently took to the grave?
Apparently they're childhood friends, so I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say quite a while. They went to different high schools, though, so that's when they slowly started drifting apart. But they still kept in touch and updated each other on their lives with letters.
I've never heard anything about him having a childhood friend like that.
That's neither here nor there. Anyway, Mom, I think I'll go ahead and take Dad's advice about cutting ties with you. I won't have any regrets either. So I suggest you leave before I have to call security on you. Take care of yourself, okay?
Wait, don't say that, Michelle. I won't just up and disappear on you anymore. I swear, I'll never abandon you again. So please don't be like this.
Let's both just be happy and live our best lives to the fullest. After that, my mom tried her hardest to crash my wedding. Naturally, though, she got caught by the security guards Allison had hired just in case. They tied her to a chair in a separate room for the whole duration of the wedding. Immediately after the wedding, our relatives took her away somewhere, and I haven't heard from her since. Rumor has it that she had built up a mountain of debt, and that everyone she owed gathered at once to make a repayment plan for her. Now she works at one of our relatives' friends' companies during the day, and at night she works part-time as a bartender. Her debt repayments eat up a huge chunk of her salary every month. And even if she tries to run away, those people hired by Allison will come chasing after her.
Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And either way, please leave your feedback in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your likes and comments motivate us. Also, there are so many more videos on this channel for you to enjoy, so please check them out as well. Let's meet again in the next video.